Yeah. And same, when we go and we start talking about educators as well, just another question that I've had, and I've asked you this actually several times, but I want you to share it with everybody else as well. You mentioned, earlier about teachers being undervalued and underpaid and, all of these different truths about educators and the work that we do. And, for somebody like me who is very new in my advocacy for education, for social justice, a lot of times I feel like what educators say is, well, I'm just one voice, and what can I really do about this? And there's not really much that we can change in education, ourselves. The only thing that we really have control of is our students in our classroom that we greet every day and that we instruct. But what power do we really have as educators, and how can we advocate for ourselves? Because I know we talk all the time about teachers always advocating for their students. And that's one of the, I think, downfalls of the educational system to a degree, and why teachers get so burnt out is because they're always advocating for others when they're not being treated fairly for the work that they're doing. So how can educators advocate for themselves as well?
Well, I mean, you have to think of that as an extension of your daily work and an extension of your daily task, because advocating for yourself creates a healthier environment for you to grow. And the more you grow, the more the more freedom you have to pour into your students. And I think that's the way that you look at it. And, it's kind of crazy because this is new for a lot of people. But, the politics is very simple math, right? It's always, 50% plus one is like the root equation in all of politics. And you have to do everything you can to be a part of that 50% plus one to push through progressive policies that help change the culture and the dynamic of the classroom. Or maybe you need 50% plus one to stop changes that would be detrimental or corrosive to the culture of the classroom. And so I just, again, I go back to, it's a simple, teachers remind me of professional athletes, and that we watch them from afar, we admire them, we have a great sense of awe, but they haven't fully recognized the full potential of their platform. And when you see professional athletes come together, whether or not it's the WNBA, Atlanta Dream, and how they took Warnock from 9% approval rating to United States Senator, whether or not you see Colin Kaepernick or whomever it may be, and LeBron James, you see these athletes finding their full potential, and teachers still are a little bit behind in understanding that together they'll be able to influence a great deal of public policy. They could be the largest unions in the country are AARP and usually your gun lobby. And you'll be surprised the influence the teachers could have if they cobble together, even if it's just one school. One school in one district can sway the way, or would sway the way, that a state legislator thinks, certainly. And that has influence. And then maybe that one school becomes one school in one district that multiplies to two schools in two different districts. And then you have two legislators, but that just breeds that type of influence. And we have to look at it as such.